Breast cancer was never on my radar. I literally remember one time thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm so healthy. I drink green smoothies and work out and use essential oils. Thank God I'm never gonna have to deal with cancer. My name is Aisha Patterson, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 30. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's just your regular small town girl. Life was just fun and easy with my parents. Of course, we had our regular hardships like most families do, but we had each other and we really leaned on each other. My relationship with my body has always been kind of up and down. Like, I always had a hard relationship with my chest from being, 12 years old up until being in my 30s because it was, they were too big or too small. And I always struggled in that area. When I was breastfeeding my son, I felt a lump and I really didn't think much of it. I breastfed all 4 of my kids, so I just thought, this is probably a clogged milk duct, no big deal. But after a few months, 2 more lumps showed up. And at that point, I was like, okay, I should probably get this checked out. I didn't have insurance at the time, so that was like one more hurdle. I'm like, I don't want to go and pay $300 for them to just tell me that it's like a cyst or something. So I still waited a little bit of time, and a friend of mine, I was telling her about the lumps, and she was like, you really need to go and get them checked out. So I finally made the appointment. At that point, she did the breast exam and she was like, yeah, let's go ahead and just put in a referral. But I remember her saying, it's probably just a cyst. Stop drinking coffee and stop eating chocolate because those things can make lumps or cysts in your breast. I had a mammogram and an ultrasound, and when I was on the ultrasound table, I'll never forget the ultrasound tech. She just started kind of acting weird. She starts rubbing my leg and she's like, it's okay, but I'm gonna get the doctor to come in and look at these. The doctor comes in and it just felt like all the air was sucked out of the room. Like, I knew at that point that something was not right. And she said, yeah, we're definitely concerned about these, so we'd like for you to have a biopsy. And the results were I had stage 2 triple positive breast cancer. Going through the double mastectomy process was probably the hardest part of the entire experience for me. It really is an amputation. Like, you are able to keep your skin, but that's pretty much it. Like, I don't have the nipples that I originally had anymore. So it was a very painful process to part with them, and I struggled greatly after surgery. I really fell into like a pretty deep depression. It wasn't just the surgery. At that point, it felt like past trauma, like all these things were coming up for me that I was like, what is this? I've never been depressed. I've never dealt with this level of anxiety. So trying to recover from surgery, and then also still I'm mom of 4, so I have to be there for them. It was rough. In that experience, I really just learned like I have no control. I have to surrender and completely let go because it could be anything. And so every week it literally just felt like walking on eggshells because you didn't know what was going to come next. I feel like I am moving forward in my life, and cancer is like 20 steps behind me, always in the background, always a whisper in my ear, always kind of reminding me like, hey, don't forget about us because we can run up to you at any time, so don't get too comfortable. Advocacy was a big part of my story. I will never forget, being diagnosed and just being in the shower and just praying and telling God, like, you can use me. Like, I will inspire and advocate for other young women because for me, I had no breast health knowledge. Going into those appointments, no one looked like me. The women on the brochures had older hands, and I couldn't relate with that. So I made a decision early on that I would share my story and also advocate for young women, young Black women, as much as possible. Tigerlily is very near and dear to my heart. They have such a major impact in the breast cancer community. Like, they are like the OGs, the boots on the ground that do the hard work and actually make change happen, and I respect them as an organization so much. Mema has been a dear friend of my family's and has walked with me through my journey in the beginning and really has helped me in so many ways. Once I finished treatment, I became an angel advocate, and I am so proud to be one because, again, like, this is real. They do real change. They don't just talk about it. They go there and do the work to get, things changed for young Black women. The hopes that I have for my legacy is that other women will see and hear my story and will, one, not just put their identity in, being wife and mom, but their own individual person that is so unique and has dreams and passions and a purpose, and really focus on that whole being of a person. And then, of course, I want women to see me and be inspired to take care of their bodies, and not just their breast health, but all of their health, and really put it first and concentrate on it and listen to their bodies, because our bodies, they tell us everything that we need to know. It's not wrong, and we should listen and act accordingly. I'm Aisha, and this is my life and my legacy.